This is News 3 Now at 6.
And thanks for joining us. We have alert days in our forecast today and through the next week as well for these bitterly cold temperatures.
And the wind chill will make it feel much colder. Let's check your first warned forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi.
Charlotte, another day and another night of bitterly cold weather on the way. Let's start out by taking a look at Doppler track. There has been some light snow to our south. It's dumped a couple of inches of snow across parts of northern Illinois, but just some flurries and some very light snow showers have made it into far southern Wisconsin, and most of that is just about over with. Low temperatures this morning, not quite as cold as the previous night. We were in the middle to upper single digits below zero, with wind chills around 15 to 20 below zero. Current temperatures are now just barely above zero, 3 in Madison, but you can see farther to the north and west, temperatures already around zero or a little bit below in central Wisconsin, and wind chills are dropping into the teens below zero out toward the La Crosse area. Wind chill advisories in effect overnight for all of southern Wisconsin away from Lake Michigan. This is for wind chills that could drop to as cold as 25 degrees below zero. I'm looking for a low temperature of about 12 below zero here in Madison, and the skies clear out. And then for tomorrow, look for a high of only 8 degrees, but wind chills will remain below zero all day. More of the same in the forecast for the rest of this week, and the bulk of the bitterly cold air may not reach us until this weekend. I'll have more details in weather in a few minutes.
2.8% of Wisconsin's population has completed their COVID vaccination series. That means more than 165,000 Wisconsinites have gotten both doses of the shot. After a slow start, Wisconsin appears to be quickly catching up on vaccinations compared to other states. We are now in the top 20 in the country, according to CDC data.
Health leaders think if we keep it up, we could see a large portion of the state vaccinated in the coming months. Our Jamie Perez joins us now with why we are doing better as a state. Jamie?
So health officials gave several reasons to explain the increase in our numbers, but say that there is one thing that could set us back.
Wedged between Indiana and Maryland, you'll find Wisconsin on the CDC's vaccination list, rising rapidly to 18th best in the nation for vaccines given out. But even that doesn't paint the whole picture.
Ever since the CDC started publishing vaccination data by state, the Wisconsin data reported by CDC has lagged behind our own data.
DHS says we're actually doing better than what the CDC reports our daily average to be. And local vaccination sites are seeing that too.
Our vaccine clinic schedules are full, and we're limited only by the number of vaccines available to us.
Mo Kerbat with SSM Health said the only thing standing in the way of increasing our numbers is not having enough supply of the vaccines, something that UW Health echoed today.
There's still a supply challenge there, so I think it's good news, but there's still some challenges before us, and we're trying to be very transparent with the community about what some of those challenges for us in particular are.
Health officials attribute our state's rise in efforts to several things: more vaccination sites popping up and more people wanting to get their shots after seeing so many others do it first.
It is a level of comfort now that is building up, and it's perhaps resulting in more demand for the vaccine.
Kerbat said the more people who want the vaccine, the faster we may be able to get people vaccinated.
The CDC said a few weeks ago, states that administer more vaccines will be allocated more vaccines. Basically, it's a way to reward states for having a good, efficient process.
Kerbat said he's hopeful that if Wisconsin keeps going in the same direction,
we stay at this rate, it could be within 2 or 3 months where we could reach 50%, seeing 50% of the state vaccinated.
DHS plans to roll out more vaccination sites once we get more doses of the vaccine.
All right, Jamie Perez, live tonight. Jamie, thank you. UW Health has a new website that allows people to track how many vaccine doses the health system has been allocated versus how many appointments are scheduled. Now, the main takeaway from this data is they have a large amount of capacity to give vaccines, but simply not enough supply. UW Health has 22,000 people scheduled to receive their first doses. It's 11 times higher than the 2,000 doses that they were allocated this week. And that raises the question of whether Wisconsin will hit a March 1st target date to begin the next phase of vaccines. Rock County will soon be home to the first community vaccination site in Wisconsin. Officials haven't announced a specific location just yet. Governor Evers and DHS officials announced a new partnership with AMI Expeditionary Healthcare to establish 6 to 10 community vaccination sites. This Rock County location is scheduled to open next Tuesday with a capacity to vaccinate 250 people people a day, and a goal of vaccinating up to 1,000 people a day if the state's federal vaccine allocation increases.
Across Wisconsin, health officials confirmed 543 new COVID cases. That is far below the 7-day average of about 1,000 cases. One more person has died. In the past 24 hours, more than 3,000 people received a COVID shot, which is low after coming off of the weekend. With the number of new COVID cases going down in Dane County, health officials are easing up on some gathering restrictions. Brady Mallory explains some of the changes we'll see.
A new public health emergency order goes into effect for Dane County on Wednesday. Gathering restrictions are eased under the new order, and the size depends on whether or not food will be served. Indoor events offering refreshments will be limited to 25, while those without can have 50 people. For outdoor events, it's 100 for events serving food and drinks and 150 for those without.
Now, each of us has a different comfort level with risk. But no matter how much risk you are willing to take personally, we need you to continue to help to reduce our collective risk.
Sporting competitions and games are also allowed under the new order. In most cases, face coverings are required. Sports that cannot maintain physical distancing are limited to 25 people inside and 100 outside. Masks must also be worn if participating in an outdoor sporting event. Well, this new order goes into effect on Wednesday, and you can read more about it online at channel3000.com.
All right, we're expecting the Sun Prairie Area School District to address a racially insensitive assignment about slavery that was given to 6th graders last week.
The district has not answered our questions about how the assignment that it called a grave error in judgment slipped through the cracks, and today responded to a letter from parents who are demanding the assistant superintendent lose their job. Our Amanda Quintana joins us now with those details.
Yes, it's been a week since photos of that assignment were posted on social media asking students how they would punish a disrespectful slave. In a letter released to families today, the district is encouraging them to watch the school board meeting that's happening right now. In that letter, it also responds to a demand from a group of parents to fire the assistant superintendent for teaching learning and equity. The superintendent says that will not happen. Instead, he listed 13 ways the district has been working toward racial equity over the last 5 years, including updating curriculum, updating anti-bias standards, creating Black History Month commemoration, and doing employee trainings. But he did not address how the district is responding specifically to this incident and what, if anything, is going to happen to those teachers that were put on administrative leave. That meeting is happening right now. It started at 6 o'clock and it's virtual, so you can watch it online. You just have to go to sunprairiemediacenter.com.
Amanda, thank you.
The Wisconsin Elections Commission is reminding anyone who has an absentee ballot to make a plan to return it.
In terms of numbers for the February 16th election, there are currently 304,698 absentee ballots that have been requested for the February 16th election, and 38,154 that have been returned so far. So that means that there are still about 260,000 that need to be returned.
Now, ballots need to be returned by 8 p.m. on Election Day, so if you are mailing yours back, she recommends getting it in the mail now. The U.S. Postal Service advises people to have ballots in the mail a week before Election Day. That's tomorrow. Otherwise, consider dropping it off at your clerk's office or at one of those ballot drop boxes. Now, there's one statewide race on the ballot for state school superintendent. Seven candidates vying for that spot, and that group will be narrowed down to 2 for the April general election. There are also elections for city councils, school boards, and mayors or village presidents, as well as one partisan race in our area. That's to fill the state Senate District 13 seat vacated by former Senator Scott Fitzgerald, who was elected to the U.S. Congress. To see what's on your ballot, find your polling location, or check your registration status, just go to myvote.wi.gov.
Coming up next at 6, live in-person concerts are scheduled to return to Madison this summer with COVID precautions. And a driver escapes a terrifying crash after skidding off a Milwaukee overpass. Stay with us.
Stoughton Health reminds you to protect yourself from COVID-19. Clean your hands often, disinfect frequently touched surfaces, avoid close contact, especially with the sick. And if you're sick, stay home unless seeking medical care, and wear a mask. From Stoughton Health, protect yourself and others.
Goblin Cars is having a huge winter sale. Don't miss out on 2018 and 2019
Chevy Equinoxes starting at $14,995 or $230 per month.
That's right. You can buy a 2018 or 19 Chevy Equinox starting at $14,995 or $230 per month.
Goblin Cars is family owned and operated for over 50 years.
So just hurry in today and ask for my sister, Crystal the Pistol Goblin.
Or my brother, Donovan Goblin.
You gotta go to Goblin, GoblinCars.com.
Every year, thousands of Wisconsin residents make the difficult choice between eating or heating their home. So please join News 3 now and support a week of warmth, benefiting the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund. 90 cents of every dollar donated is used to help those in crisis. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the need is now greater than ever. Give the gift of warmth. For more information, visit kwwf.org. Week of Warmth, sponsored by Viridian Homes.
Minwax makes it so easy to make wood beautiful. Once you get started, you won't want to stop. Keep on finishing with Minwax, America's #1 selling interior stain.
Welcome back. Today, the DOT released new video of a pickup truck that skidded off an overpass at Milwaukee Zoo Interchange over the weekend. This new video shows the driver very lucky to be alive. The truck landed upright when first responders, look at that fall there, when first responders got there, the two citizens were helping the driver, who was conscious, breathing, and showed no signs of impairment. That person was taken to the hospital. A preliminary investigation found the driver had lost control, sending that truck up a snowbank and then over that barrier wall for a 70-foot fall.
Unbelievable. New at 6, a socially distanced concert series is coming to Breeze Stevens Field this summer. FPC Live, which runs the Orpheum, the Majestic, the Sylvie, and High Noon Saloon, is hosting the Return to Live series starting in May. Instead of buying individual tickets, you can reserve a pod for up to 4 guests. Breeze Stevens can typically hold 10,000 fans, but with pods in the field and stands, capacity will be around 1,500. There will be other COVID precautions as well, like staggered entry and exit times and face mask requirements.
That's still ahead at 6. Governor Evers is proposing legalizing marijuana. We'll hear from law enforcement agencies about what the potential change could mean. And bitterly cold temperatures continue tonight and really through the week. Gary tells us just how cold it'll feel when you take into consideration the wind chill. It's your First Warn forecast. That's next.
General Heating and Air Conditioning. Our large fleet of service vehicles are nearby, and our mobile fabrication shops allow us to save you time and money. When your home comfort system needs servicing or replacing, turn to the experts at Carrier and General Heating and Air Conditioning.
Winter in Wisconsin means snow, blustering winds, and sub-zero temperatures. Will your insulation keep your home warm? Frank Construction can always help. We're your roofing and insulation pros. We'll find cracks at air pathways in your insulation that are letting in the icy cold and hindering your comfort. With our thermal imaging and cutting-edge insulation techniques, you'll be sure that your home will be warm and energy efficient for many years to come. Visit frankconstruction.com today and prepare your home for the long winter.
It's time for the Great American Sales Event at your local Ford store. To celebrate, we're offering $1,000 President's Day cash on top of other offers on Ford F-150. With deals on America's workhorse, now's a great time to buy. Hurry in or shop online before February 15th. For a limited time, get $1,000 President's Day cash on a 2020 Ford F-150 for $7,250 in total value. Celebrate during the Great American Sales Event going on now.
This is one of the biggest furniture events of the year, the President's Sale at Slumberland. Come on. Slumberland Furniture has the best prices around on all sorts of furniture. And right now at our President's Sale, everything is an additional 25% off our already low price.
This is totally you. Oh.
Yeah, this is the winner.
Well, hello, Slumberland.
Get your look for less at the huge President's Sale at Slumberland.
Maintenance fee, ATM fee. Can I hide in your Ford?
Sure, but the Ford
fee is 10 cookies.
Need a place to hide from fees? With a BMO Harris Smart Advantage account, you can get cash with nearly as many fee-free ATMs in the U.S. as the 3 largest banks combined, and no monthly maintenance fee.
Huh, did you hear that? No monthly maintenance fee.
Fort fees are subject to the governing bodies of the fort.
She did not learn that from me.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect. And right now, get a $200 bonus when you open a new BMO Harris Smart Advantage account.
General Heating and Air Conditioning. Our large fleet of service vehicles are nearby, and our mobile fabrication shops allow us to save you time and money. When your home comfort system needs servicing or replacing, turn to the experts at Carrier and General Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Wisconsin wouldn't be the first state to legalize marijuana, but there would certainly be a learning curve for police. One chief we spoke with today sees benefits and challenges to the governor's proposal.
Gabriella Becerra is live at the state capitol and explains how law enforcement agencies are preparing to handle this potential change. Gabby?
Well, Governor Evers' proposal would allow for people 21 and older to carry up to 2 ounces of marijuana on them. But that's something local law enforcement agencies say they're already seeing. So we asked them how it would affect them if it wasn't illegal.
It's a police officer's job to enforce the law, keeping illegal substances off the street.
It's a frequent occurrence that we come across marijuana.
Janesville Police Chief David Moore is looking to the 15 states, plus the District of Columbia, that have all fully legalized marijuana for answers on how it might affect his department's role in the community if Governor Evers' proposal to join them is approved. Moore says he's relieved to know those states haven't seen a spike in crime.
Actually, there's been a decrease of responsibility on the criminal justice system because we're not making arrests for simple possession.
He does still have a few concerns, like the potential for more drugged drivers getting behind the wheel.
It's never good when we have more drivers out there on the road that are under the influence, but that's a reality of increased marijuana.
Moore says if legalized, his department would look into training additional drug recognition experts to determine whether or not a driver is under the influence. He also worries the drug might end up in kids' hands more easily.
That's not an outcome that I would wish to see, but I think it could be anticipated.
Regardless, if the law changes one way or another, Moore says his department will continue to do its job.
Personally, I'm not a supporter of it, but I understand that it's not been a great hardship in other states, and law enforcement will adjust accordingly.
We were able to speak with some of the Democratic legislators who are in support of Governor Evers' proposal, but have yet heard back from any Republicans. We'll continue to ask them for comment.
Gabriella Becerra live at the Capitol. Gabby, thank you.
As the bitter cold weather continues, we hear some strange noises outside, like a loud bang. There have been some reports of ice quakes in Madison. It's a natural phenomenon that experts tell us could happen in 3 different ways. One is when the air cools rapidly, liquid in the ground suddenly freezes and expands, and it can cause seismic activity like you'd see in an earthquake, but on a smaller scale. Another type of ice quake would be common in our region that's surrounded by lakes.
The lake kind of rumbles as it gets colder and the ice gets thicker, and there's little cracks that develop in the ice. But if the freezing is quite sudden, then that can really cause a little bit more than the normal amount of cracking in the ice. And so some of the thunderous booms that maybe people have heard, especially adjacent to a lake, may well be some of that cracking of newly formed and rapidly formed ice.
A third type of ice quake that we wouldn't be experiencing now happens at the end of winter or spring when there's a sudden warming on a lake, forcing the ice onto the shore. Well, we do still have plenty of winter left before that could even happen. Gary's here with your bitterly cold forecast.
And it's going to stay that way at least for another week or so. We've had a few flurries tonight, but on high-resolution Doppler radar, you can see most of the snow is across northeastern Illinois, pretty much out of Wisconsin. There's been a band of some light snow through northern Illinois. It's dropped a couple of inches of snow, but winter weather advisories remain in effect for that area for a few more hours. That's where the travel problems are, at least from the falling snow. But the bitter cold, that's pretty much everybody's business. Wind chill advisories in effect for the entire state of Wisconsin away from Lake Michigan, other than the Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha County areas. Their wind chills only be around 20 below zero instead of about 25 to 35 below zero. Farther to the northwest, wind chill warnings across northern Minnesota and northern portions of North Dakota for wind chills. It could be 50 below zero or colder. These are current temperatures. 3 above zero Madison, 1 above in La Crosse. Temperatures already below zero out toward Eau Claire and the Twin Cities. Then you factor in the winds. They're not very brisk, but at temperatures that cold, it doesn't take very much to get those wind chills to drop off in a hurry. We're seeing wind chills in the teens to around 20 below zero, and those will continue to drop overnight. Future track wind chills, we start out in the mid-20s below zero. Wednesday morning, pretty much the same story. Even during the day, you don't see those wind chills really get much above zero. And what's of more concern is as we head toward the end of the week and the weekend, the bulk of the coldest air could arrive as we head towards Saturday morning, and then we could be looking at wind chills perhaps around 40 below zero. At that point, we call it dangerously cold because you could have frostbite in just a few minutes to exposed skin. And the bitter wind chills will continue into Sunday morning and even Monday morning of next week before we start to see temperatures at least come up a little bit above the frigid levels. Alert days remain in the forecast through next Monday. For daytime high temperatures, that'll be in the single digits, nighttime low temperatures, single digits, and teens below zero, and those bitterly cold wind chills. And you can see on the upper air pattern, this is the bulk of the coldest air Thursday at noon, and just right along the U.S.-Canadian border. I mean, what we've been seeing are just pieces of that cold air, but you notice the computer model forecast bringing the bulk of that cold air closer to us as we head towards Saturday morning. Now, the coldest air should stay just to our north and west, and eventually as it moves through the upper Midwest, it'll modify somewhat, but that could be our coldest time period. By the early part of next week, as we head toward Tuesday, the jet stream actually comes northward a little bit. Temperatures will still remain below normal, but at least we'll see some moderation in the wind chills and the temperatures. That jet stream is a very broad jet stream across the country. A lot of energy associated with it. At least the weather systems that are producing snow are moving by pretty quickly, and for the most part, they're staying to our south. So we just don't need to add any more snow to the picture because, again, with temperatures this cold, salt doesn't work on the roads. So any more slippery roads, I mean, it'll stay that way until conditions can improve early next week. Wind chill advisories in effect tonight, beginning at 9 p.m. for our western viewers and at midnight for everybody else, running through mid-morning tomorrow. Look for a low in Madison of 12 below zero by early morning, and then look for wind chills perhaps cold as 25 below zero. Tomorrow's high at 8 degrees with sunny skies, but wind chills remain below zero all day. Future track wind chills by early tomorrow morning in the teens, 20s below zero, and staying below zero even through the afternoon. 7 to 10 day forecast. There'll be some light snow chances from Thursday afternoon into Thursday night. A few flurries for Friday and Saturday. Valentine's Day should be dry, but again, those temperatures in the morning bitterly cold. And then as we head into next week, maybe some light snow chances about Tuesday.
And coming up in sports, the Badger men's hockey team climbing up in the polls after a sweep of the Gophers. Why Tony Granado says he had a feeling his team would be good. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Thanks for voting All Comfort Services Madison Magazine's Best of Madison 2020. And thanks to our entire All Comfort team who's eager to help our customers and provide them with a consistently remarkable experience. All Comfort Services, we're here to make all of your home more comfortable.
Needed Relief Day Spa and Wellness is a place where you can relax, be pampered, and revitalize your life in a safe and tranquil environment. Our guests' safety and comfort is our top priority. Revitalize yourself at Needed Relief today and give the gift of wellness to those you love with a Needed Relief gift card, available now online. It's exactly what we all need. Needed Relief Day Spa and Wellness, Madison's world-class wellness spa.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Every year, thousands of Wisconsin residents make the difficult choice between eating or heating their home. So please join News 3 now and support a week of warmth, benefiting the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund. 90 cents of every dollar donated is used to help those in crisis. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the need is now greater than ever. Give the gift of warmth. For more information, visit kwwf.org. Week of Warmth, sponsored by Viridian Homes.
Love lower than low prices? Then get more ways to save at Pick and Save, where you can find personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. All for prices that are lower than low. On food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
All Comfort Services is the area's most trusted heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical company. Don't forget to nominate All Comfort Services Madison Magazine's Best 2021 Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical Company at allcomfortservices.com today.
Hi, folks. Tuesday morning, Reese is tracking the latest on dangerously cold temperatures across Wisconsin. And we take you inside a new cookie shop in the 608 that's been all the buzz recently. We'll see you starting at 4:30 on News 3 Now this morning.
The Wisconsin men's hockey team has kind of been flying under the radar nationally, but after sweeping the #2 ranked team in the country on the road, it's safe to say that the Badgers opened up a lot of eyes. UW jumped up to 7th in the country in the latest poll, but none of that stuff matters to Tony Granato because he had a feeling that this team was going to be pretty good before the season began.
We felt all along that we got a really good team, solid team, a fun team. And a team that's, when all the pieces are in place, can do some fun stuff, and that's kind of where we're at.
This weekend is the Wisconsin women's final home series of the season, and it kind of sounds strange considering the Badgers have played just 2 series at LeBron Arena this year. But in typical Mark Johnson fashion, there's nothing they can do about it except continue to improve so they're playing their best hockey when it matters the most.
These will be our last two home games, and we haven't had too many up to this point. So chalk it up to, this year. And again, if you want to do something special, if you want to make the most out of it, now's the time to focus in and really put your foot forward and take a run at things.
The Wisconsin men's basketball team has tweaked their weekend schedule a bit for this week. Instead of traveling to Nebraska on Thursday, the game has been moved up to Wednesday at 8:30. So that gives the Badgers a little less time to get out of their funk. Against Illinois, they struggled on both sides of the ball, something they know they have to change in a hurry.
There's definitely times that you can definitely stick your nose in there, as our coaches would say, and make your own things happen.
If you're not hitting your shots, you can't let that affect you on the defensive end. And obviously that's tough to do when your shots aren't falling. It's kind of human nature to get a little down and whatnot. So we just got to fight through that because there's so much, all of us can do on the other end of the floor.
And Paul Chryst has promoted Sean Snee to take over Wisconsin's strength and conditioning program. For the past 6 seasons, he's served as an assistant in charge of Badger football's nutrition plan and managing injured players' progressions as they try to get back on the field. Anytime I hear nutrition, makes me kind of hungry, Charlotte.
I was just thinking I need a chocolate chip cookie.
Quick final check with Gary.
Need to stay warm. Wind chill advisory in effect overnight through mid-morning tomorrow.
All right, thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.